At Volunteer Alberta, and they're presenting on Volunteerville. From only a brief meeting with these two ladies, I am excited to welcome them with their positive energy, Cassie Burkholder and Lisa McKetty.
Volunteerville, what does that mean to you? Are you thinking about volunteers? Are you thinking about a village? Maybe you're thinking about citizenship. Are you just thinking that those people are way too big to fit into those tiny buildings? All of those thoughts are correct, and tonight, Cassie and I are going to show you how to get involved and become a citizen of Volunteerville.
Like a bird, we often feel like we're flying alone in the big open sky, doing what we care about, unconnected from those around us. It feels good to soar on our own, but it's hard to create a connection if you can't share your experience with anybody else. Feelings of contentment, fear, pride, confusion, when felt by yourself, can leave you feeling unconnected. Zooming out, just like the sky full of birds or / people, just like you, everyone's on their own path, yet connected in their movements and actions. Birds flying together are strangely individual, yet united at the same time. It's nice to know that others are with you and around you.
So how do we know what other people are doing? We share stories and experiences. We create narratives. There are many ways to do that. You can draw a comic for every waking hour in your day. You can come up with 140 succinct characters for a tweet. You can take a selfie.
Wait, let's move the camera. Okay, go.
Or you can just tell a story. Sharing your story builds your community. We create our stories by doing the things we love, spending time with our friends and family. We also create our story by supporting the things we care about and also by volunteering.
Volunteering is a way that people make a difference and make meaningful contributions to their communities. The numbers speak for themselves. Over half of Albertans volunteer an average of 140 hours per year, which is one of the highest volunteerism rates in the country. This means millions of people give their time to organizations and causes that they care about. Like saving your sister from a certain death. As noble as it may be to step up and represent your district, thankfully we live in a society where there's more choice and more opportunity. So instead of volunteering for tribute for the Hunger Games, and surely never coming back,
why not volunteer and give back? There are lots of different ways to volunteer, like being a big sister, using your skills to serve on a board, or volunteering for a rescue group to help animals find their homes. The gals in this picture have a story that probably informed their volunteer experience. They volunteer for this organization because they care about it and it means something to them. How do we tell that story? We capture it. I share my dog Lando's adventures on social media all the time. Like all the time. Probably too much.
All the time.
When other people comment on my pictures of Lando, they become involved and they become part of my story. This creates a community narrative that everyone can participate in.
Everyone is a storyteller, and everyone tries to be, of varying degrees of success, I'll give you. But before there was storytelling, and before there was text, there was storytelling. And it was necessary to share lessons, send messages, understand social norms and values. Storytelling is so powerful that it's actually worth billions of dollars and has actual economic impact. Look at Tumblr, blogs, Twitter. What happens if you don't tell your story? Well, somebody's probably going to tell it for you, and they may get it wrong. For instance, 1 in 4 Americans still believe that Obama is Kenyan. This is a true fact. Stories shape the information into meaning, and they're our emotional glue that connects our communities. If you don't tell your story, you risk losing it.
So my grandma made the most amazing biscuits, but she never wrote down the recipe. She never really needed one. So one day my mom asked her to make them, and she measured out the ingredients for her and wrote everything down and created a recipe. If she hadn't done this, that recipe would have been lost. Once that recipe was done, she passed it along to me, and now I can share it with my friends and family and eventually with my kids. So this is why we need to share, just like we did in the sandbox in kindergarten. A lot has changed since then, and there are lots of new ways to get your message out.
For those on the receiving end, they vicariously experience your narrative. Telling the story is only one side of the coin. On the other side is listening. It's hard to say which one is more important. Without one, the other is irrelevant. It's a whole chicken and the egg scenario. What happens when a story falls on deaf ears?
Hey, Cassie, I've got this great story to tell you. Do you want to hear it?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Alternatively,
Hey, Cassie, I've got this great story to tell you. Do you want to hear it?
totally.
Okay. Well, last year I volunteered at Folk Fest, and I got a free pass to the whole weekend, and I shared my pictures on social media, and people loved it. I think I'll do it again.
Oh my gosh, can I get on your crew?
Totally. Yeah. Wow, I feel really great and inspired by that. Cassie really shared in my enthusiasm, and sharing was really great. I feel super good about doing that.
This is the power of an image. This photo tells many stories. The triumph of being an Olympic champion, the sacrifices a family makes for pursuing their dreams, the relationship between two brothers. It's very inspiring. And if I know Lisa, and she loves the Olympics, she might actually be crying right now. So now you can see the whole picture. Volunteering, then capturing and telling, and then finishing off with sharing and inspiring. You could even say that it's like a feedback loop, heading back to volunteering at the top. This is what we call Volunteerville.
So for many of us, volunteering is a part of our lives that we never share and never celebrate. So Volunteerville is your chance to share those experiences with the world. When you use the hashtag Volunteerville on Twitter or Instagram, that picture or tweet are going to show up here on this website, volunteerville.ca. It doesn't quite look like this yet, but it will very soon. So by doing this, it allows you to share the stories of the impact that volunteers make in your community. So if you can't tell, that's Questlove. He's hashtagging it up. So follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Volunteerville to get updates about this campaign. It's going to be launching in a couple weeks. Use the hashtag Volunteerville, share your experience, tell your story, and let's make volunteering go viral. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Cassie and Lisa, so much. We all know how important volunteering is. Pecan wouldn't take place at all without a great team of volunteers, which don't worry, we will be thanking them later. Next Gen fully operates